Well, we're
Welcome
live.
one and all. Welcome one and all to another episode of Digital Blackface. This is episode 19, and we're talking about a very special topic given everything that just went on this week. The future of DC Comics and the entire comic book industry as of right now. Like this last week, DC just had a major event specifically called the DC Fandom, basically a worldwide comic book convention where they released so much and people found out about so much. And especially of the fact that we got news on the Batman, we got news on suicide, we got news on so many video games, movies, and so much more that DC is basically killing it right now. Did any of you actually watch the fandom? I'm sorry. Before we continue, I'm here with Atomic Denny, my man Church of Failure, my man Baku, my girl Lambhammer, and my man Bizarre Comics.
Hey,
Did
Yee.
any of you did
Hello.
any of you actually watch the DC fandom?
I cut in and
No.
out of it. I
I
watched
watched a
part
little
of
bit
it.
of it.
I
I
read
watched
highlights.
like the event. I watched all the like things that came out of it, but I didn't.
I followed the live tweeting and I tuned in whenever it sounded like something interesting was happening.
I
That's
just saw the
basically
trailer.
where I was. Yeah.
I watched video trailers. That's about it.
Okay. Well, basically, you guys know what the fandom was, though, right?
Yeah, it was a digital
Yeah.
comic fest. It was basically Comic Con on the internet.
Yes, literally that. Literally, we had like what didn't watch all of it. I'm not gonna lie, but what did draw me in especially was all the art by Jim Lee. When it came down to like, there was so much. It actually felt like they cared about the comics for once, and it wasn't just a vessel for the movies. If you know what I mean.
Well, hold on. When you say all the art of Jim Lee, what are you talking about? Like,
Like
explain
the art
what you
that
mean
Jim Lee
by that.
made.
Yeah, what about it? How did they honor it or display it or whatever for people that didn't see it?
I mean, the entire stage for the fandom. First of all, every single character was drawn by Jim Lee. The ads counting down every single day, they were made by Jim Lee.
Okay.
The posters, like so many posters, so many fan pieces, all Jim Lee's art.
Okay.
I,
All
I
right.
love Jim Lee. I love Jim Lee so much that I wish he was doing comic books instead of that, though.
Honestly, I can understand that. Really, uh, I really
I could
wish he
see it.
was doing more comic book stuff, but
Yeah.
it was still good. You know, the
No,
art was
Yeah.
I
perfect.
mean, it's
No,
always good.
I appreciate that it probably was good dressing, but I just wouldn't get my hopes up that they care any more about the comic books now because they used his art.
Well,
I
Jim
mean,
Lee is like he's the guy running DC now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like
Or-
he
yeah,
like he's a
all-
guy who does actually care.
Okay. I mean, I'll give you. Yeah. Okay. I'll take that. I'll take that. I'm just saying it'd be like saying like when they do some kind of thing and they use Alex Ross's art. I mean, it's of a caliber that yeah, you're gonna use that art if you can use that art.
Yeah.
If you're yeah.
If you found out Alex Ross had been planning the whole thing, then you'd get pretty enthusiastic because Alex
Right.
Ross knows his comics.
Right. So
I'm told he read
but
one once.
Anyway, what else about the Fandome?
Well, when it came down to the fandom, like they had so many announcements. You guys, did you any of you actually see the Black Adam trailer that they released? They announced Black Adam with the Rock.
Yeah.
Oh,
You mean
yeah.
like
it was
the
more like an
you mean like the
animated
concept art
art.
trailer?
Yeah,
The concept
that's what
art
I
trailer,
thought.
yes.
Yeah.
But like
Well,
the
actually, I
teaser
thought that was
trailer
really
came out,
neat. Actually, I was
Yeah, I thought it was dope.
especially since they announced the Justice Society of America is being canned into DCEU now.
that's the thing that actually mainly had me excited, and especially
Right.
since that concept art indicates we're getting a very comic accurate Justice Society, which is interesting because the DCEU was really shown sort of an aversion at first to leaning into a comic book style, and it's nice to see them just going full blast comic book now.
Gradually getting more and more into. All right, we don't mind this being like the comics.
Yeah,
Well-
it took them a while to get there.
You know, it almost seems cyclical to me. Go ahead, Dio. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying, and fucking thank God they did.
Well, one thing is it feels like it's fairly cyclical in the sense that back when, the late 70s, early 80s, when the big shift towards Marvel being the headline publisher leading the way with innovation, DC was always a powerhouse because of just their classic storytelling and they're formulaic, and they're great. Their formulaic writing, their great house style, and their ability to pull great talent. And then Marvel kind of swept ahead just by being the edgy boy in town for a while. And it feels like they're trying to recaptivate that in the extended universe a little bit.
If I could expand on that for a second, actually, me and one of my friends were talking about this earlier, and he said that like he always liked Marvel more. I've always been more of a DC guy, but he said that like DC does feel more like a family. Like all the universe feels much more closer together. All the characters feel to like know each other much more than like in the Marvel universe. It doesn't
and
seem
they don't go to war every other week. Like, the Justice League doesn't go to war with the Teen Titans every other week, right?
It happens, but not every other week.
Yeah, like you don't get as much of that hero versus hero stuff.
Well,
yeah, I mean that's why I thought it was like it was a mistake.
Be able to hit big with it 1,000 times.
That was why I kind of thought it was a mistake for the DCU to launch like its second movie was a hero versus hero movie, and that's never really been what DC's been about.
Right.
That's true. That's very true.
It's like it immediately missold what DC is to the majority of the audience.
We're talking Batman versus Superman?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I hate that movie, by the way.
I
hate that movie.
I've only heard tales.
I'm on record as saying it's the movie I hate more than any other movie ever made. Like it is.
I've got 3 things to fix that movie. Does anybody want to hear my 3 things to fix that movie?
Go
ahead. Shoot it to us.
Get Doomsday the fuck out of it. We don't need Doomsday. Doomsday doesn't need to be there. We don't need to do Death of Superman in that movie. Wonder Woman does not need to be there. If you wanted to do a Trinity movie, do a Trinity movie after this movie. And then also, Kryptonite Spear is stupid. Give us the Kryptonite rings, like in the comic books. Like, so the fans think you actually read the source material. Like, just little things like that. Make it
My big thing would be...
movie.
Like, a Batman vs. Superman movie, I maintain is a bad idea from the start. You should make a world's finest movie. Because Batman vs. Superman, they have a rivalry when they first meet. But aside from a couple of rare examples, they don't really fight.
Well, let me extrapolate on that a little bit and say that if they're going to do a Batman vs. Superman movie, the concept is there. You take Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Rises and you adapt it into a 2-part, epic style release movie where you tell the entire story of the old Bruce Wayne in The Dark Knight Returns.
Well, yeah, everything on its own.
Personally, like, above everything else, I feel like the fandom, despite some things that I did have an issue with, I think this is honestly like the rebirth for the DCEU, because not only is it actually coming back, they announced the DCEU is officially back.
Sure. Word choice, Poe. Rebirth is kind of tarnished right now.
Okay, yes. Rebirth is tarnished in the comics. But you know what? It doesn't have to be tarnished for the films because Bendis isn't writing for the films.
That's true.
Thank God. Thank God, and not yet.
They're no longer splitting the DCEU apart into separate standalone movies. They found that it seems to have found its heart. Ben Affleck is officially back as the Batman for the DCEU.
Am I the only one who thinks that they're going to use the Flash to make Pattinson the main Batman for the DCEU? Like, I was assuming that was the plan.
I don't think that's what they're gonna do. I think he's gonna be a side canon Batman, like Phoenix's Joker. Like he's not gonna be in main continuity.
All I can say is like this. Not only is this the rebirth event at the DCEU, but it all started with Shazam. It definitely all started with Shazam. While Shazam was a bit. What?
I'm sorry, I was just going to say, because Shazam was the first thing they did that was like, people were like, oh, this is a good movie. This isn't like a movie I have to make a defense for. This is just a good movie.
Did Shazam or Wonder Woman come out first?
Well, no, I'd say Wonder Woman was their first really good movie, but then they immediately crashed and burned after that with Justice League, and then they had to resurrect it again.
Right.
But they resurrected it with Aquaman, didn't they?
Aquaman is very fun.
Aquaman was more just okay. Shazam is a better movie than Aquaman.
Oh, absolutely, but I feel like Aquaman kind of redeemed them from the crap that Justice League was.
Which one of you fuckers let me know we had podcasts today?
I asked him if you knew.
Amy, I tweeted out. You know that the time, you know the hours. It's all on you, baby girl.
Hey,
I don't
yo,
think
Amy,
Just
so.
remind me, I have a life outside of Discord, you dolt.
yo, Amy, hold on.
So do I, woman. Look. Back to my
Ladies,
point.
you're both
What I'm
beautiful now.
saying
Shut
is,
the
it all
fuck up.
started with Shazam. Shazam injected levity, it injected art, it injected heart, it injected honesty, and it wasn't MCUified the way that we got in Justice League. It was sincere, it was earnest, it felt good, and that is what they're bringing back to the DCEU.
Amen. Also, Amy, real quick, you want to do me a favor?
No.
What's
tagging you.
favorite?
I'm tagging you. Take over for me, bitch.
Goodbye.
He dipped out. Anyway, back to look. Lamb, could you bring up the second set of fandom picks? Because something I want to show the audience.
They're all in here.
Wait, they're all in here?
Yep. I combined the folder because you didn't tell me not to.
Okay, that's good. That's a good thing.
Yeah, I take initiative.
You're a very good host streamer.
Cheers, brother. Cheers, brother.
Anyway, so not only did are we seeing DC coming back, and not just in the movies, but they announced what they announced for February is still one of the biggest things apart from the movies from DC. Static Shock is coming back in February.
Well, not just Static Shock. All of Milestone is coming back.
All of
That's
Milestone.
huge.
We got Black Superman, Black Republican Superman Icon coming back. And I love Icon for so many reasons, but it's just people don't even think about Icon often. They don't even know he exists half the time. But this is what I love, that they're finally gonna see him.
I'm hoping they do something with Hardware. Personally, I'm a big fan of his. So
Hardware?
He was a Milestone guy.
I was never a big fan of Hardware. Personally, he felt like a more like Black Iron Man than his own character. Sometimes.
I didn't get that as much, but to be fair, I don't read a whole lot of Iron Man. So
hold on, I gotta do a Poe versus Poe real quick. You're happy
Yeah,
that
do
the
a Poe
Black
versus
Superman, the Black Superman's coming back, but you really don't care about the Black Iron Man. Heard you.
Look. I call Icon Black Superman, that their powers are similar on the surface, but you know what? Forget it. Ignore that. What? Look, I just never really liked Hardware too much. If I want Black Tech guy in DC or Milestone, I go with Cyborg.
Yeah, Cyborg's pretty cool. Also, Hardware is kind of a boring name, really.
you know what? Just admit you all don't like Hardware because you don't like seeing a black man be successful. I understand.
Yep,
You know
that's
what?
definitely
Oh my
it.
God.
really like.
That is,
I really like
what
Hardware.
I do not like black people.
Before we get too far away, I don't want to gloss over Static Shock and how great Static Shock is and how underutilized he is. He just kind of appeared in the conversation and left real quick, like how DC uses him. And that makes me really upset because I love me some Static Shock.
As a kid, I was a big fan of his show, and I was
Lamb, could you bring up the Milestone images? Could you pull up the Milestone images so they can see
Poe, do you think that they're gonna bring the Milestone universe into the DC universe?
No, they shouldn't. They really shouldn't do that because, okay, look, you remember what happened in New 52 when they tried to make everything Wildstorm and DC just all fit together, and Majestic.
It was weird.
Majestic wasn't an alien anymore. He was just he was a government project to replicate Superman's powers or whatever.
And Fairchild was his handler.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. I actually kind of liked that. It was weird.
I liked it, but it took away a lot of the Majestic was supposed to be Superman, but to an extreme.
Well,
and then
can I mount a slight counter argument to that, just in the sense that DC Comics has always been great because of how cohesive their universe is. It's always when they try and introduce stuff like Vertigo, and don't get me wrong, I love Vertigo comics, but DC as a company is just not the kind of company to be a multi-imprint company.
I couldn't disagree more, honestly.
You don't think so?
No, DC was originally. DC's big strength, I always thought, was their embracing of the multiverse. The idea that they were just comfortable with there being different worlds, different rules, different labels.
We're agreeing. We're talking about the exact same situation. However, they don't need to be a different imprint. Like, if you try and separate the Sandman from being able to just kind of show up in DC, or Constantine, some of the greatest stories in the last 10, 15 years have somehow featured Constantine.
Actually, guys, pause real quick. Can you make that a little bit bigger?
Yeah.
See, here's the first few pages of Static Shock, of the new Static Shock we're getting in February. You guys see it?
If it's under Milestone, it should be in here,
yeah.
Oh,
these
heck
are the first few pages. Yeah. We've got Ike, we've got Riot, we've got, I don't know who this, but she also is a character.
Is Gear still around? Is Gear like? Because I mean, I never. To be fair, I only read like the first couple issues of the Static Shock New 52 like thing, and like I don't know, I don't ever see Gear mentioned with like Static anymore. Does he only exist in the cartoon, or is he like? Is he canon?
I always thought Gear was like he was canon to the cartoon, but I never saw him in anything else really.
Right, that's what I was wondering. Yeah.
Yeah, he's only canon to the cartoon.
Lame.
Like, he's a great character. Yeah, I think he's like the first gay character I ever saw in a cartoon. But
Gear's cool.
Yeah, like, he's really an awesome character. But Static by himself was one of my first. Like, I love Static, and I feel like I'm just glad to see him being respected. You know?
Yeah. And that's kind of why I want to see him kind of rolled into at least a main DC continuity sense. Like, even if it's on a separate multiverse, like even if he's introduced by one of the mainstream characters, giving him his kickoff by somehow landing in the Milestone world, Earth 50 even or 47, whatever it is, even giving the kickoff and letting them explore it that way seems better to me than putting it in a Milestone-esque imprint and leaving the DC name off of it, because it just kind of seems like this property isn't prestigious enough to carry the DC brand. We have to stick it out there without sullying our name. And they already know that Static Shock is popular. They
could do something like DC Black Label where they put the DC name on
Static
it.
Shock,
right.
Static
absolutely.
Shock is not going to sully
so-called like
DC's
DC
name.
Presents Milestone or something like that. And then
But that's what they feel like. That's why they separate their imprints by different names. That's why Epic wasn't associated with Marvel, because it was so edgy and didn't have that family friendliness to it. Even though X-Men was the bloodiest thing on the market, it still appealed to children. So it was really weird, and it was a sign of our times. And like Questioning just said, DC Black Label is the perfect answer to that.
1 second, I have to correct myself. Like someone corrected me in the comments. Gear was technically not gay. The character he is based off of is, though. That was who I was thinking of. The character in the comics Gear is based off of is gay, but the cartoon character with powers is not. Yes, that is true.
I was gonna say, I don't remember Gear being gay, but I believe it.
I thought there was an episode where his dad was angry at him, but I misremember that his dad was just not a fan of Joel. That's what I'm thinking of. Anyway, so
either way, Gear was dope.
Either way, what?
Gear was dope.
Gear was 100%. Look, if it was just the show about Gear by himself without Static, I still would have watched it.
Right. Wasn't it Gear that figured out that Static can turn like a fucking nickel into a disc to float around on or something? Wasn't it like Gear that like figured that out and shit?
He built him a hover pad that he used. But no, literally, you could make a Gear show even if Static didn't exist. A white kid in that neighborhood, trying to make friends, and he gets power. He tries to be a hero. People don't trust him. He doesn't look like them. I mean, sure, it'd be a little iron fee, but you know what? It'd work.
So, Pope, question for you. A long time ago, I had Q from Out of the Darkness on my show, The Gospel of Comics. And we were discussing the stereotype of African American characters in comic books with electrical superpowers. Where do you come down on this?
Okay, to be honest, apart from like Black Lightning, Storm, Static,
Shock.
that one character in that Irredeemable book who was written as a joke on characters with lightning powers, how many of them really do have electricity powers in the first place? It's not that many, not compared to the massive number of heroes out there. I think it's just like someone took a stereotype, decided to get offended about it, and now it's a big issue. There's not that many black characters with electricity powers.
I think
I
it's
got-
because Black Lightning is such a catchy name that they just had to pair
Yeah,
every
it
black
was-
character.
It came up right around the time that he was introduced into the Arrowverse.
You know what? We could count Electro in the Amazing Spider-Man 2. He's black.
That doesn't count.
If-
That does not count.
We don't
That
count
does not
Amazing
count.
Spider-Man 2 as ever happening, Denny.
The Amazing
You know what?
Spider-Man 2,
It's
like most
so
post 2000
funny.
Spider-Man stuff, never occurred, and we don't acknowledge it.
No, the one thing I want to acknowledge is the soundtrack. The soundtrack that was made by fucking what's it,
Oh
Pharrell?
no, I listened to that soundtrack. I swear.
Oh my god, that one track.
Kendrick
that one
Lamar.
track
Kendrick
has
Lamar.
Jamie Foxx going, "He lied to me. He
While,
murdered me. He
I got
lied
that song. I have that
to
song
me."
myself.
That is like
Um,
the best fucking. That is so dumb. I can't. It makes me cry. It makes me laugh so hard I cry every time I hear it.
No, I love it. It doesn't care if it's dumb. I still love it. I listen to it all the time writing. Like when I'm writing a bad guy, I'm writing a fight scene from where the bad guy is just dominating. That is what I use.
As
Like-
Oh, is all of your
Amazing
stuff basically
Spider-Man-
just Amazing Spider-Man 2 fan fiction?
No,
before
it's
we
not.
get
It
too
really-
far off topic from my question,
Yeah.
as the
Go ahead.
comic
What's the question?
historian, I have to correct you. You ever heard of Thunderfall from the District
No.
Republic of or the Democratic Republic of Congo? Okay, well, he
No,
had thunder
never.
powers. Shango the Thunderer had thunder powers.
I have heard of Shango. I don't know where.
Volt had thunder powers.
Volt
Thunder
from
or
where?
lightning, there is a difference.
No, there's not.
Not functional. Not in comic books. There's not.
Superhero
Lightning?
logic. We're both electricity things.
Lightning
Oh, okay, wait,
was
wait,
one
okay,
of
wait.
Black Lightning's two daughters.
Yes,
Juice.
I remember.
Juice.
Yes.
Soul
yes,
power?
that's true. Yes. Wait. Soul Power. He was made for the cartoon. He was made to copy Black Lightning.
Okay, well, what about Black Vulcan? Same deal.
Wasn't he Native
and
American?
the most important one that you forgot to mention was Miles Morales with his spider shock.
You know what? How about you shut up? Okay, fine. Right. There's a lot of. Okay.
Oh, do you know who Mac Afro is? Do you know who
Oh,
Mac
so
Afro is? Oh,
They made Lightning Lad black. Bendis made Lightning Lad black. Yeah, that's
Yep.
just added to it.
right. Interested. I want you to Google Mac Afro right now, just if you can.
How do
I'm
you
just
spell it? How do
saying,
you spell
it's
it?
a problem. It's
M-A-C
possibly the biggest problem in the
Afro?
multiverse.
Mac Afro.
Oh
He's
my
a space
god!
pimp.
Really?
Don't take no shit from the man.
He's a space pimp.
Yeah.
What? Who would make this? This is like
I can't remember the company that made it actually, but it's like some
Atomic
small...
Basement. Atomic Basement. Okay. Look, all I'm saying.
See if I can
Back to
find
my
it.
point.
Chat.
Back to my point. Like let's get back to talking about like the
DC?
fandom. Len, could you bring up the DC Comic Future fandom folder so they can see what I'm trying to refer to?
Probably. If only I could understand you when you talk.
Okay. In the file I sent you, DC Comics Future, it's the fandom file in that one, not the separate fandom file I sent you after that.
Oh, yikes. Yeah, maybe.
Thank you. Anyway, so I want to show you guys like what really drew me into the fandom event in the first place. I actually saw the Black Lightning, the Black Lightning poster counting 10 days to the fandom event. Let me see.
DM me,
One.
by the way.
Oh, okay, no problem. I'll DM it to you.
Yeah, because you're supposed to. Anyway.
Okay. No, you have it though. It's in the
Oh, I'm
the
sure I have
DC
it. By
comic.
that I mean I might not have it because we know what you're like. But send me the file name.
Okay, don't. This one isn't on me this time. Okay,
Uh-huh.
it's just the fandom file, inside that DBXIX DC Comics Future.
Oh, well, that's all you had to
Hey,
say.
thank you, Lewis. I'm glad you're able to catch a live digital blackface yourself. Oh,
Um,
also, Church. Thunderer is from Multiversity. He's not black. He's Australian. That doesn't count.
hey, Poe, where should I post a link to Black Afro?
You mean Mac
Or
Afro?
Mac Afro. Sorry, he's black. Sorry.
He is he is black, yes, unless he was Jewish. Then
No
Mac
lightning.
Afro. Oh god. Anyway, I think the only two black myths that will stand the test of time will see Spider Trickster God and Black Panther Techno Ethno Statist. You know what? That might not. That might be true. That might be true. Okay, so yeah, Lamb. I think the wrong folder.
Hmm.
Yes, that's the separate fandom file I sent you later.
Ah, yes, I see.
I
Yes,
actually
we're
heard
looking
a
through it earlier.
I actually heard an argument about why the right wing kind of latched on to hating Black Panther when it promoted
Why?
an ethno state.
Why was that?
No. It was somebody commenting on the fact that they didn't understand why the right wing hated on Black Panther because it promotes an ethno state.
Ethno states are okay if they're not white.
I mean,
Everybody knows this.
most ethno states are generally not white. And we're not talking about this right now. We are not getting into this right now
You're the
on
one
this
who said it, my
episode.
brother.
We're not making this into this on this episode. This
No,
is
no,
not,
I'm
not
just
And
getting.
making a comment that
Okay,
you said ethno nationalist.
you know what? Oh, you shut up. Okay, so we've got the DC fan pictures up. So I'm waiting. There's one that's by. There's a bunch of countdown posters by Jim Lee that I found so amazing. I'm like, you know what? Even if this is gonna be boring and just people talking about something I won't care about, I still want to watch this because they put effort into the posters. They made them look good.
Yeah.
Now where are they? It's okay. See, here's one of them right there.
Oh yeah.
That was a good poster.
Yeah. That one
Remember, I was
wasn't
talking
the
about
one
Alex
that drew
Ross
me in.
earlier. That's the same level.
See, okay, see, let me talk. Let me just say about Alex Ross. Alex Ross, personally, I love his art, but I feel I feel he's best for like older tales, like
Oh yeah.
tales with
Yeah.
the more classic version. The more modern versions of the DC universe would not work with Alex Ross's art. Because when I
Modern
read
suits
Alex
don't
Ross,
look good in his style at all. That man looks good when he draws tights
yeah,
and
Fabrics.
that
Yeah,
sort of
he
thing.
does
yeah.
well with fabric. He doesn't do well with like armor.
Like I can't see myself reading an Alex Ross written young Superman. Like I need him to look like he's
I'm
almost
just
gonna be
talking
in his
about his
50s.
covers.
Okay, his covers, yes, still his
Alex
covers.
can draw young people and make them look good. He does a good Robin.
I'm not saying he can't, but I feel like any art by Alex Ross with the young Superman or young Justice League would look odd. Oh, see, here's the one of the
The
posters I
Black
saw.
Panther one, yeah.
No, the Batman.
Or not Black Panther. I'm looking on. Oh, there it is. Okay, I saw the Rock
There we
and
go.
Black Adam. I'm sorry, it was still in my mind. I saw the
Of
Rock
course.
in that old
Good
picture
art.
with
Speaking
the
of good
gold
art, I
plated
just posted some Mac Afro in the podcast chat. If anybody's interested.
Also, who do you guys
Mac
think should play? Who do you guys think should play? What's it called? Who should play Green Lantern in the DCEU?
Oh man,
Which lantern are you talking about?
Hal
Hal
Jordan,
Jordan.
the
Hal
only
Jordan,
one.
of course. That's if I'm saying Green Lantern, I'll say Hal Jordan. If I
See,
want,
that's weird to me. When I say to me, Green Lantern without specification refers to John Stewart, but that's just where I'm at.
It's
Look, the funny thing, you know what the funny thing is? The first Green Lantern I ever saw was John Stewart in the cartoon, But reading so much of the comics, when I think Green Lantern, I think Jordan. When I think John Stewart, I think John Stewart. When I think Kyle Rayner. Everybody else, if I say Green Lantern, it always be Hal Jordan to me. Every other Lantern I'll call by name.
That's fair enough. I mean, that's okay. I don't like Hal Jordan very much. Like I can't explain why. He just every comic I read by him, I'm mildly irritated by him.
John Stewart's kind of boring. Like, he just makes shapes and shit. Make a fucking baseball glove or something, dude.
I don't know. I think
the,
Hal Jordan is kind of smug in my experience, and he bugs me.
That's the thing about him.
Yeah,
when it comes down to it, Jordan is smug. He's strong. His willpower is different than John Stewart's. Hal Jordan's willpower is a smug confidence. He believes he can do it because he knows he can do it. John Stewart has the willpower of a soldier. He's here to do it because he doesn't think anybody else can do it. Kyle Rayner's willpower comes from his imagination and his belief in himself. That's why he's good as a Blue Lantern.
What about Guy Gardner? Just from like being real pissed off? Is that where his comes from?
Apparently, Guy Gardner. They actually explained his will. His willpower comes from the fact he's always holding his rage all the time.
Can I throw a name into the hat for an older Hal Jordan, like a middle-aged Hal Jordan?
Unless it's what's his name? Forget his name. I forget his name. Forget it. I forget his name, but who was your?
Hey guys, what would you call a girl Hal Jordan? Gal Jordan.
Shut up!
I fucking hate you so much, Denny.
Shut up!
Stop
Denny.
it!
This is God.
Dad?
I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. Guys, it's a terrible joke. Denny feels bad. We all feel bad.
No, I don't. I don't regret that at all.
You should. That was a terrible joke. Oh,
This
Jesus,
is the
Gal
performance
Jordan.
I bring.
I have
You
heard
asked me
worse.
on.
Anyway, yeah, I've heard worse from Lamb. She has terrible jokes too. Anyway,
So who would you have
I've
play
got
Hal Jordan?
great
'Cause I can
jokes.
legit not picture
Carl-
anybody.
Urban.
Who needs
Carl
jokes when your co-host
Wait.
is jokes?
wait. Did you say Urban for Hal Jordan?
Carl Urban. Yes.
No.
Yes.
First of all, no. First of all,
Yes.
Hal
look,
Jordan?
church.
Who's your suggestion?
Why Nathan Fillion?
That's okay. I'll take that as a second. But
As a
Carl
second.
Urban is the first.
Carl Urban isn't. Carl Urban is not Hal Jordan.
You don't think
What about
so?
Chris
Look at him
Pine?
in Star Trek.
Oh wait, Chris
No.
Pine's already being used.
I mean, Carl Urban makes more sense to me than Nathan Fillion. Nathan Fillion doesn't look like Hal Jordan to me.
Right? But, I mean, he's got the build for it, and he could probably act his way through it.
Hal Jordan, I've always thought is one of those guys who's really hard to cast. He has a really distinct look to me.
Reynolds could have done it if they hadn't put him in a goddamn CGI costume, but now it's cursed
No.
forever. He can never try again.
Movie.
But,
That
yeah,
movie broke my
unfortunately.
heart.
That's legit one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen.
Like, Reynolds could have done it.
I
DC
still
fucked
think
him over
Willem
on that.
my ideal Joker. Willem Dafoe is still my ideal Joker.
We're not
Well,
talking about
it's
Joker.
obvious,
We're talking
but-
about Green Lantern.
You
Stay
know,
on
Joker
topic,
could be Green
boss.
Lantern. I mean, he could. He's allowed. Be inclusive.
be inclusive,
No.
guy.
But yeah, look at Carl
Absolutely
Urban in
not.
Star Trek
Oh,
and tell me
okay.
he couldn't play Hal Jordan.
Carl Urban can probably act his way through it the best.
Anyway,
Carl
so,
Urban's a really good actor.
I feel like we're done discussing the fandom for right now. How do you guys feel about the Suicide Squad, the new movie by James Gunn?
I am very. I went from having nothing but dread and having no interest to now somewhat being interested in it. So I'll give it that.
I just
am
can't.
extremely neutral on it. I don't
don't like
have
James
really
Gunn.
many thoughts on it one way or the other.
You know,
I was
I'm
waiting
excited.
to see.
Harley Quinn has her best live action costume. King Shark is in it, and there's some people wearing bright comic book looking outfits. So I'll give it a try.
Do you guys know who the villain is? Have you heard?
Isn't it supposed to be
No.
Starro the Conqueror?
Why would you take it from me, Dick? Yes, it is Starro the Conqueror.
Okay, now I'm interested.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's the other
Starro the
reason.
Conqueror is the villain. They're gonna like a full-on big alien starfish.
You want to know some
Apparently-
interesting lore? about Starro?
Hit me with
He
the
was the
lore.
first villain in the Justice League comic book.
Oh,
He's
make
the
that a bit
reason the
bigger?
Justice League was formed.
So basically, let me give you full cast for the. We got Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, of course. Idris Elba as Bloodsport, because they realized they did not want to replace Will Smith, so they brought in someone else to play what would have been his role. Bloodsport.
Smart decision.
And Bloodsport got sent to jail before Suicide Squad for shooting Superman kryptonite bullets.
Yeah,
Wait,
that
are you
sounds.
talking about Deadshot? You're saying Bloodshot.
Bloodsport got sent to jail for shooting Superman kryptonite bullets. That's why he's in the Suicide Squad now.
I'm glad to see a Superman villain get featured.
You're
That's
breaking
great.
up a little
Yeah.
bit again, Poe.
Uh-huh.
About that, we
I don't know
got
if
John
it's just
Cena.
Micro's connection. It's John Cena.
It's my Instagram. John Cena is Peacemaker. He's Peacemaker. You'll see him. He's in that. He's in that slideshow. We've
His
got
costume
Danny.
looks great, by the way.
That's John Cena right there. Yeah. We got Daniela Melchior as Ratcatcher, David Dastmalchian as Polka Dot, which is someone I never expected. Pete Davidson as Blackguard, Peter Capaldi as the Thinker, Joel Kinnaman.
That's good casting.
Wait,
Yeah.
That is good.
Joel
casting.
Kinnaman, Rick Flag, Viola Davis, of course, Amanda Waller, Jai Courtney, Boomerang, Nathan Fillion. You know who Nathan Fillion is playing?
Is that Starfire?
No, that's not Starfire.
Oh,
You know who-
goodness me. That's
Oh.
You know who?
first.
You know
That
who
was
Nathan Fillion? That's
I'm blue
Mongal.
balling us.
Yeah.
Tanner.
You know who Nathan Fillion is playing?
So,
Okay, the posters have him as TDK, and I was wondering who the frick is TDK? I've never heard of this character. I googled him. I went to the DC wiki. He's arm fall off boy, the detachable kid. He is the detachable. His power is that his arms fall off.
And he can hit you with them.
you know what?
How does he hit you with him when he can't hold on to shit? He ain't got arms.
No, he'll drop one and pick it up and beat you with it.
The
Oh,
more
so
you're
he's got
describing this
range.
movie, like I'm changing my answer. I'm extremely excited for it.
Okay.
Right?
So yeah, they use his name because no one's gonna care about a character named Arm Fall Off Boy.
Fuck you! That's my favorite selling point. Call him Arm Fall Off Boy. Sorry.
He's called the
apologize.
detachable kid. He's called the detachable kid, and you'll be happy.
No, I
So
wanted
we've
to be
got-
called.
Anger.
We've got Sean Gunn. We've got Gunn as Weasel. We've got Michael Rook as Savant. Flula
Is that a giant
Borg
shark?
as Javelin.
Yeah, that's King Shark.
That is King Shark. Yeah. We've got also basically this is the plot. This is the plot, the leaked plot for the movie. You guys want to hear it or not?
Yes.
Hit me with
Go
it, I
ahead.
guess.
Okay.
You're gonna tell me either way.
So the Suicide Squad gets sent to a location called Corto Maltese to assassinate a dictator. While there, they find out that the dictator is controlled by Starro, and that's when everything goes down. But as soon as they parachute, they're gonna do a Deadpool 2 where they jump off a helicopter, and most of them die on the beach.
That's fantastic.
This
Yeah.
sounds like it's going to be great. That's exactly what a Suicide Squad movie should be, instead of being the most embarrassing thing I've
Well,
ever
you
seen.
gotta keep in mind that the guy that directed Guardians of the Galaxies 1 and 2 is directing this. So
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, so it's definitely going to
here's
be
the
better.
go.
Yeah.
Half the team dies during the beach drop, leaving only Harley, Flag, Bloodsport, Peacemaker, Ratcatcher, Man, King Shark.
you're breaking up really
So-
bad, bro.
Sorry.
Well, I'm glad he broke up on that. I didn't want to hear exactly who was going to
Okay.
live.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness,
So,
John Cena. Look at you.
His name is John
Look.
Cena.
You can't.
Do you know
teach me.
who I believe the first is gonna go? Do you know who I think the first person is gonna go?
Who?
I think it's gonna be the detachable kid.
You call him
Because
by his
one-
real name.
He has the most use to superpower and is the most famous actor. A winning combination for shock factor.
True.
You know what would be better is if they do like like they're landing on the beach and he gets blown apart and they all think he's dead, but then the twist at the end is no, he survived. He just had to go find his arm. It was
Now
fine.
you just spoiled the movie. Thank
that
you.
should be the twist. He's gonna save the day
feel
in
like-
the end.
I feel like that is gonna be the twist.
They think
that
he
is-
died because his limbs went everywhere and he was laying there, but then he went and at the end he
And he's
shows
like-
up.
He's like, oh, wait, you explode. Like, oh no, I take off my parts, but they come back to me. I was like, oh, that's some
Can
BS. Yeah.
Starro is standing there holding everyone with like his arms, and then
Can I-
another arm gets shoved through his eye from the back, and we
Right.
see a detachable kid shoving it through.
Now, can I drop some more DC lore on you?
Sure, drop it.
Okay, Shazam. The name of 5 characters at the time of Captain Marvel's conception, which is why they named him Captain Marvel. One of the characters named Shazam at the time was literally a prototype of the detachable kid. It was an android that when it shouted the word Shazam, all of its limbs and his head would detach from his torso, rocketing out in different directions.
That sounds so cool.
That's okay. That sounds extremely stupid, actually.
Actually,
It can be both. It can be both cool and stupid.
It was a 50s comic book. What the fuck do you want?
Okay. In fact, for those who haven't seen it, Lamb, could you play us a sneak peek of the Suicide Squad behind the scenes?
I should be able to do that, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually the file sneak peek of the Suicide Squad behind the scenes in 19 videos 2. So I want you guys to see a little bit of the characters going on, like what.
Also, can we just?
What
that poster is amazing, by the way.
It really is. I love it. It's way better. Like I know that the what's his name? Who directed the first Squad?
David Ayer.
I know David Ayer tried to make, and you know what? That Joker is still my favorite Joker. I'm not gonna lie. You can insult me all you want.
I've got to leave the stream, guys. I can't be seen.
Can I have your home? Can I have your home address? I have to come do violence.
Who's your favorite Joker?
Look, my favorite Joker is Suicide Squad Joker because I believe that Joker. Look, shut up. You can shut up right now. That Joker.
You can shut up right now with that terrible take.
That Joker could
How embarrassing.
That Joker could laugh. That Joker
is like pineapple on pizza. That's like
no. That Joker. He had a business. He had assistants. He knew how to imbue fear without just getting rid of everybody just because he felt like it. That Joker could actually last. Okay.
Yeah, that Joker was a fantastic Riddler.
You know, fun fact actually.
Shut up.
I don't know if any of you have ever met Poe in real life, but his closet is nothing but like Suicide Squad T-shirts of like Joker and Harley from Hot Topic. That's all he wears.
You know what? I've never even been to Hot Topic, so you can eat me.
I don't believe that. Not
he's
for a minute.
No, he orders online because he never leaves
Jared Leto.
with these lukewarm
Poe has
takes.
damage tattooed on his forehead.
Look,
I don't have a
I love
damage
you, Poe.
tattoo. This is true.
I don't have damage tattooed on my forehead. I have it tattooed on my feet because I don't want people to see how damaged I am.
I honestly thought he was going to say penis.
Oh, if you don't have damage tattooed on your forehead, how are people supposed to know you're damaged?
They don't need to know. You know what? Shut up.
No one will know you're insane if you don't tattoo damage to your forehead. How will we know you're the bad guy?
You did this to you, Poe. You could have kept your secrets.
Shut up. Shut up. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that Joker could actually last. He's not a flash in the pan. I understand what the Dark Knight series was trying to do with their Joker. All I'm saying is that Joker was a very flash in the pan type of character. He couldn't have lasted.
Joker could last without making him cringy, though. The problem is that he was cringy.
Kitsune in the chat corrected me. It was Captain Marvel, and he said split to make his arms rocket off. But the point still stands. It was absurd, and it was the prototype arms fall off boy. Go ahead.
Thank you. Look, Leto Joker is still my favorite Joker. Anakin is still my favorite Skywalker, and
it's okay to be wrong, Poe. We still love you.
I was gonna say,
I need to.
what little I know of Star Wars, all of this is wrong.
Nothing is. Poe has the best.
Words could physically make me feel like this ill.
You followed me, so you should know. Anyway,
that's true.
I would rather you post some more cheese grater pictures on Twitter than talk like this.
You guys aren't seeing the bigger picture here, okay?
What's the bigger picture? Please explain it to us.
A character doesn't have to be a perfect 1-1 recreation. Sure, Joker had damage tattooed on his forehead. Sure, that was a bit much. But you know what? I still loved him. He was still a great character. He still brought his best.
I mean, Heath Ledger's Joker and Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, neither of them are comic accurate, but they're still good. Like, you don't have to. I agree. You don't have to be comic accurate to be good. but you do have to be good to be good.
Some things translate better in different mediums, and Joker translates well into film when he's not being a copycat of the comic book character.
Look,
Yeah, you don't have to be like the comics, but just Jared Leto. He's not bad because he's different from the comics. He's bad because he's embarrassing.
Look, Leto Joker is bad, but the rest of the movie is bad. So you know what?
Are you saying he's the best part of the movie for
He
you?
is the best part of the movie for me.
Okay, that's valid, but that's like saying
Making the best Joker.
that's like saying
we can leave it.
an analogy.
We can leave it on this common ground. We can allow that to be the best part of Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Poe.
Jared
Because the
Leto
best part of
was
Suicide
He's also
Squad-
the best Joker I've ever seen. So yeah, shut up.
Jared Leto was the best Joker in the movie Suicide Squad. I
I'm
can
gonna
agree with
unfollow
that.
you on Twitter for that take. I'm sorry.
Are you guys done with the with getting everything
Also
wrong then,
the
or
best Joker I've ever seen, and you can shoot me for that.
Do more than that.
you guys done getting things wrong?
Give me your home address.
Of course
Poe.
not.
This is an
Kylo,
actual
your
threat.
favorite-
Thank you for
Solo
correcting me on the
Joker.
Captain Marvel thing, Kitsune.
Am
I apologize.
No problem. I just wanted to make sure I could alleviate that because the
You and
whole
I-
thing with
We both like being the comic book guy. Actually,
actually. But no. I hear you guys talking about Milestone, and let me tell you, I got some things to say.
please.
Okay, Milestone. What can I say? I was literally watching Comic Tropes the other night, and he was saying, or a few months ago actually, he was doing a video about Dwayne McDuffie, and I love Dwayne McDuffie. I loved him as a kid. He when he was still alive, he was on Facebook. He had like a fan page, and he actually understood. What's the word I'm trying to say? He was a genuine man. He did what he did, and people liked him for it. And he understood, I got here because of fans. He actually helped work on, he did Static Shock. He also did Justice League Unlimited. He also did, what was the other one? He also did Ben 10. He was part of Men of Action. I was thinking about all this, and I'm thinking to myself, if they bring Milestone back right now, it's going to tank harder than Vertigo. And here we are.
And
we are. I'm sorry,
that's why I wanted them to bring Milestone back in the same capacity that DC Black, or in a capacity of another multiverse is discovered by somebody who actually
About that.
Go ahead.
Final Crisis merged the universes, for the record.
No, I understand that. So Milestone was actually in the mainline DC, and when it comes back,
Yeah, there was
it will be reintegrated.
Yeah,
That's what
I know.
I was questioning.
Back.
I know Black Lightning has. There was a Brave and the Bold team up between him and Black Lightning. Oh yeah, Poe's jumping in now. What's going on, Poe?
Yeah, sorry. For some reason, my Discord glitched out. Anyway, I am back.
We carried the show for you. It's fine.
Poe, this is
I will
very
say,
important.
Suicide Squad looks like fun.
Someone in the chat is alleging that you suck toes. Can we get a
What?
statement?
Who was alleging that I
can't
suck
we-
toes? You know what? Sleepy, I know who you are. I know who you are, Sleepy. You keep you're annoying it. You're very annoying in the DMs.
In the chat says
You suck toes. You suck toes, Sleepy.
Poe, answer the question. Stop dodging it.
I don't suck toes. I'm not a toe
Okay,
man.
there you go. It's like when you immediately go for the jugular of the guy who asked. I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, what?
You know what? There is no toe sucking going on in my life. That's all I can say.
In your life, though.
That's sad.
How was that
sad?
You know,
Why do you get up every morning?
That's a little sad, Poe. Just acknowledge that you want it. Someone will let you suck their toes.
Look, this is not the boys. I'm not trying to suck any toes.
Imagine waking up every morning knowing that you just for sure aren't going to suck toes and not even doing anything about it.
I need you to shut
I'm perfectly fine with that, actually.
Look, back to my point.
You're welcome, Poe.
Lamb,
Did you
play?
you?
Did you play the behind the scenes for Suicide Squad?
No,
she
I
did not.
I didn't get permission.
Oh, sorry.
I will say,
Sorry.
Could you please?
Best
Could you please
casting.
cue it up? Could you please cue it up?
As soon as
Give
the
it
toe
up, give it
talk
up.
stopped, that was permission. I promise.
Damn.
you can't see him usually at all, so it's time is
You're right.
now.
So, in addition to seeing him for the first time, he just saw his muscles. It's understandable.
I was going to say, how does he not see John Cena? And then I realized I walked myself right into that one.
Yeah. Well,
I
there's
was
something to
hoping.
live for.
I was hoping that what's his name? Peter David's. I'm sorry, the doctor, Peter Capaldi.
Yeah.
I was hoping he was going to play the Shade, but considering how the plot synopsis says
that
everyone
is
dies, if everyone's
I
going to
am-
die, yeah, that makes sense.
I am really glad to see Peter Capaldi in a comic book movie. That man just needs to be used more in general.
And he's playing
Oh
the
my
trickster,
God.
right?
No, he's playing the
Lamb,
Thinker.
seeing as we're already on the topic of the Suicide Squad, could you load up the Kill the Justice League trailer? Why did it make you mad? Lamb, while we're talking, just load it up.
It's
Yeah.
just
Why did that make you mad?
I understood going into this that DC doesn't want to do anything with Superman, so we weren't going to get any real Superman content. And I already knew that there was going to be a Suicide Squad game about killing the Justice League. But then I saw that beautiful model they made of Superman, wearing his sort of classic-looking suit. It looked great.
He was, yeah. Wow.
You had him in Metropolis. You could see Brainiac's ship in the background, and I just thought, all I could think is, man, I want a Rocksteady Superman game where I get to fight Brainiac as Superman and save the day. Instead, I gotta shoot the man, or I gotta hunt him down, and I just don't care. Like, I'm tired of evil Superman.
Speaking of the question, getting him to voice Brainiac, stroke of brilliance.
Wait, I mean, look. Here's the thing. There's a screenshot. You can see the back of Superman's head. He has something controlling him.
Wait, okay, it's like
obvious.
controlling them. But the point is, from the general audience's perspective, most of the main Superman content that is being fed out to general audiences is him either actually being evil or him being mind controlled to be evil,
Yes,
or an alternate
agreed.
version of him that's darker. The average person, most Superman content they get is not classic Superman.
It's what if Superman's bad? We'll only just deconstruct him again for the 10 billionth time.
I
know
just
blame
want
Frank
a
Miller for
Superman
that.
where you can play the John Williams theme or the animated series theme or some uplifting music, and he catches an airplane, and that's all I want.
Guys, have you guys ever seen the Image comic Huck by Mark Miller?
Yes.
That
I'm familiar with it. I haven't read it though.
That comic, it was about this dude. His mother was Russian. He was a Russian experiment, and he was left on a doorstep of a Kansas family, and he's basically Superboy, basically, but silent. And he's a little bit slow, but he's classic Superman strength, going around saving, helping, doing everything. And
So basically, Icon.
No, not Icon.
Icon's like that.
But he's literally he's under, he's not obvious. He's doing it all the time to the target. If someone needs help anywhere he can reach, he'll go do it. And it was so unlike Mark Miller, because I had just finished reading Nemesis.
I was gonna say.
I had just read Nemesis.
That doesn't sound like it.
before this. I had read Nemesis and the Unfunnies and Kick-Ass 30 minutes before this, and I was like, is this the same guy? I felt like,
Wholesome Mark Miller, what?
yeah, I thought it was wholesome. I thought it was cool. It made me feel good. And I was like, this is weird. I just read a comic where cartoon kids had their lives destroyed, got HIV, were cucked, were murdered, were raped, and now I'm seeing.
Didn't you tell us not to say any of those words for monetization's sake?
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. I've always been an idiot. I've always
I
been
was an idiot. What else is there?
Anyway, about this Kill the Justice League trailer. How do you guys feel about Captain Boomerang having powers?
I like how they're implementing it. That honestly really works for the type of gameplay it seems to imply.
From the
Like, what else
gameplay
you gonna
perspective,
do?
it's helpful, yeah. Like, you gotta think of it like
really
it's not
works.
just a comic book, it's a video game. And if his power is just throwing boomerangs, that's gonna kind of suck. You gotta give him something else.
This really comes off almost like a Borderlands multiplayer thing where you can play by yourself, but you can also play with others.
Look at
I feel
that
like that's
Superman!
where
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It looks great. It's literally like
He's gonna heat vision someone to death. Dang it!
it's Unreal 4 or Unreal 5 version of the version they had in versus DC Universe. Would you agree? Because that's kind of what I see here. I see DC, like the one from DC Universe where he was classic design, where they fought Mortal Kombat. Only this is like high res, or maybe the one in the opening cinematic of DC Online. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sort of like that. I'm not sure if it's exactly the same suit.
So do we
I'm
know
not
what
gonna
kind of
do that.
gameplay this is going to
Okay,
be?
but
It looks like it's going to be like a Borderlands kind of thing, where it's like a team. Like it looks like that,
Well,
at least to me.
For the game itself, I can tell you for a fact, It is going to be 1 second. It is going to be first things first. This is part of the Arkhamverse. Which
That bothers
weird
me.
enough.
Oh.
Yeah, it does bother me because for some reason
Oh.
Deadshot is black, which like I'm nothing.
Yeah,
against,
that's-
nothing against black people. I love the blacks, but
Oh, come on. You're white supremacist, folks. Stop it.
look,
Stop hiding it.
Suicide Squad. Why is this part of the Arkhamverse? If you're gonna make, is it a different Deadshot? Are we getting like? Is he undercover as a
Other
black
things
dude?
don't
Is he in
fit too.
blackface?
Like the Arkhamverse
So wait.
is kind of grounded.
Maybe he's
Brainiac
in
just-
digital
Oh.
blackface.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, or it could be that one time, like that one time where what is it?
Lois
Lane.
Lois Lane.
No, Punisher. When Punisher was given a bunch of melanin and he became black. I am not joking. That actually
No, I've
happened.
seen it. I've seen it.
When
I've
that
seen it.
happened,
Well, maybe, my problem is more than that, though. Like, from a tone perspective, it's hard for me to picture Superman, Brainiac, the whole over-the-top thing existing in the
I see what
world
you
of the Arkham games. It feels
look,
weird.
To be honest, look, no, guys. Do you guys not remember the Arkham games where like Nightwing was like flipping over and just punching a giant Killer Croc?
Again, it was grounded.
That feels
versus-
different. Yeah.
That's not Brainiac.
Brainiac
That's not
is
a
different.
giant
Brainiac,
truck man.
yeah, this is acknowledging aliens exist 100% for sure.
I mean,
And
we
they're advanced.
acknowledged magic existed in Arkham.
Oh,
It
in the
doesn't
words
feel
of
right.
a wiser man, aliens.
Magic.
I rest my case.
Magic. I rest my case.
Look, like, this isn't an objective fact thing. It's just it feels weird to me. I always thought of the Arkham games as being their own separate thing.
That's true. That is fair.
I can't picture the whole DC universe there. I don't know.
I mean, I can, but it is kind of whiplash either way.
Actually,
Yeah.
Lamb, could you load up the video game slides for Suicide Squad so they can see the people can really see a few of the pictures that we put up.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited. Fuck, I will say this. I don't think they're gonna do it, but
Look.
I'm literally right now pulling up like the Fortnite. I'm trying to find a Dr. Doom Fortnite model because they make good models. For this kind of shit.
I really want a superhero game done in the Fortnite style because it
someone
looks
asked
good.
the question. You think there's going to be some kind of war between the DC fans and MCU fans in the upcoming year? Marvel's kind of dying, and DC's been picking up attention.
Oh, Marvel's gonna die.
DC has been steamrolling. The Fandome
Yes.
itself, this massive.
what kind of war do you think would actually take place?
There is no
That's a
war.
little.
There is no war in Boxing Say.
It is all DC's game right now.
Well, yeah, that's because Marvel already announced all their stuff last year, and
And they shat their pants.
Like, I
mean,
think I don't
go
see it as a big fight between them. I think
Here's
there's
my-
room for them to coexist.
Here's my take on it. I personally feel like Marvel has shat the bed in so many regards. I mean, there's a whole rumor how they're like, oh, we're getting rid of woke shit, but that's more like, oh, we're not going to diss the fans. Here's my take on it. It's simple, or rather, I feel like Eternals is a kind of harbinger of where they're going in these movies, and And if you've seen what they've been promoting about the movie, you can kind of get what I'm trying to go for here. I guess I don't want to like
The upcoming TV stuff sounds pretty good to me.
What have they been promoting?
Oh yeah. Oh, gay kiss and open same-sex relationship. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying is that it's
when
that's what they're focusing on.
When you have to promote identity, when you're focusing on a piece of superhero work, then you've already made a mistake. If you're focusing
exactly.
I mean,
again,
that could be a misstep as far as like promoting things, but I don't necessarily think that's a sign that Marvel is doomed. I think they have a good amount of momentum. I just think that.
Well, wait, go ahead. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I was just my whole thing is what you focus on with the Eternals is the potential. The Eternals is Jack Kirby coming back to Marvel after basically creating Darkseid in the Fourth World.
Attempt to do basically the same thing again, as I understand it.
But better.
But yeah, because he didn't get a chance to finish it.
But here's the point. The thing that should be at the forefront, people need to be talking about, is the fact that the Eternals basically explain the mutants, and also, okay, do you guys remember in the mutants, why mutants occur, and also a great example of this is in what movie is it? Oh fuck, Incredible Hulk. There's a scene, the guy who's supposed to be a leader, and he's talking about
the leader and credit sting that never goes anywhere.
Yeah, well,
honestly,
it's not
he
even
shows up.
The
He
point
shows
is,
up in the MCU comics, but for like a second.
But there's something he says before that when he sees them inducing he induces and shuts down the Hulk. That whole scene where he his body transforms on the surgery table, or whatever.
Yeah.
He says some of the lines of there was there was something that I didn't realize was there, and it was like this catalyst, and that's why you didn't turn into a pile of goo, or somebody said about those lines. That is almost directly referencing the whole point of the Eternals. The Eternals is that the whole concept is that thousands of years, these people are eternal, they're mortal, but thousands of years ago, these alien race came to Earth, took the missing link humans, made 3 separate batches. One are the Eternals, one are the Deviants, or basically these actually, to be honest, Thanos in the comics is an Eternal, but he has a deviant gene. He's point is
born an Eternal, but your mother found you so scary that she tried to make you a temporary.
but the thing is that the third batch is where mutants came from. They put a latent gene, and that explains why Peter Parker, when he was bitten and got radioactive blood, all of a sudden he's perfectly fine. It explains the potential. It's like the metahuman concept that they showed off in the Invasion story arc in DC Comics. It's there's some sort of latent potential in this section of humanity. Point is just that they should be focusing on that, because again, this is basically supposed to be the setup for bringing in the mutants. And all they want to talk about is, there's these 2 openly gay people that are not going to show up in the Chinese cut. Guys, really?
I mean, yeah, I get that. But at the same time, if the movie itself is good, and I think given the MCU's track record, there's a good chance that it is, at least decent. Because even if they're worse, the movies are watchable, in my opinion. Then I still think
everything before the woke broke. That's just my opinion.
We're demonetized.
And there you go.
No, I don't know. I just checked, but yeah, apparently we are.
Okay. Oh, that's great.
So before we go any farther, let's check out the Gotham Knights trailer so we can just really round this.
Yes.
Very excited about that for only one reason.
Yeah. What is the reason?
They announced you can play as only one character the entire game if you want. So to me, it's a Tim Drake video game. That's the reason I'm there for it. Tim Drake, the video game. They're gonna have customizable skins. I'm gonna put him in a classic original Robin suit, like the original Tim Drake suit. I'm gonna play through that whole game. They also have a Red Robin.
They also have a Red Robin suit. So you can really play as Red Robin coming into his own, if you want.
No, I just want to play as Robin. Original Tim Drake Robin is my favorite, my second or third favorite DC Comics character.
I'm going to be playing as what's it called, Red Hood. This is going to be a Red Hood revenge game for me.
See, that's the good thing about it. We can all play as whatever we want.
There are any victims.
My only issue, there's 2 things I have issues with this game. One, like Suicide Squad, they're both written by someone. I guess the writer is the usual people. The woke people. 2. Apparently the reason why Bruce Wayne died is because he had evidence to lead the rest of Hillary Clinton.
Now able to confirm that
Bruce Wayne is. Well, it's Court of Owls. He has the info on Court of Owls, but someone said online they're like, it's because they're like, so he had knowledge that will lead to the rest of Hillary Clinton. Okay.
But I'm very excited for that game. Also,
I am too, cautiously.
Just based on the costumes we've seen, the very couple we've seen, I like that there's already options where you can have the animated plain blank white eyes, and there's all sorts of stuff that's gonna be fun. They've talked about how customizable the players are gonna be. I'm very excited.
As long as it's not customizable like the Avengers.
The only thing I want, the only thing I really want out of it is, I know I don't think it has this, but I really wish it would have local multiplayer. Because then it would basically just be like playing Lego Batman again, but better. And that
that would be amazing.
It would literally be get my sister. It'd be an update of us playing Lego Batman when we were
or Lego Dimensions.
Yeah,
Lego Dimensions is good.
Can we just take a minute and lambast on the fact that Lego games are severely underrated?
but it has
Yeah.
its
I have
unique
never.
element.
The only Lego game I've ever played was the Harry Potter one,
You've
like
always
the
had my
first
back
one.
when I needed you.
I
I'm
Lego
old and
Lego.
I have children.
I played
a
Lego
lot of
DC
Lego
supervillains.
games.
I played Lego DC supervillains. I played the whole thing
Goodbye.
as Reverse Flash.
Like, I'm actually, you don't understand how excited I am for this game. I've never bought like a major console at release. Like, the only way I played the Arkham games was going to a friend's house who had an Xbox and let me play. The first new console I ever bothered getting was the Switch because I could get it cheap at one point. And legit, I'm going to buy a console just so I can play as Tim Drake.
Well,
That is my motivation.
Years, so.
I know, but when that comes out, I'm buying a system for it.
I kid you
Just to
not.
play as Tim
I had a friend who was like that for the PS4. He was like, basically he bought the pre-order copy of Arkham Knights just so he could get all the DLC. He hadn't got a PS4 yet, but he bought the game just so he could have all the pre-order bonus.
Also,
Yeah,
you're not
I'm
alone.
just here. Tim Drake, man.
what
My
gets
third
me?
favorite DC character. Like, I love him so much.
What?
Oh, he's a great character.
I really wish that Damien was part of this game, though.
Nah, he'd be too much.
No, I mean, I feel like Damien would be the perfect counter to the owl type of thing. Like someone who's not
Maybe he'll
afraid
show
to-
up.
Like Dick Grayson.
I mean, we already have 4 characters, though. A fifth seems like a bit much to me. I don't know why.
He'll be DLC. He'll be DLC then.
Damian Wayne DLC. Son of the Bat.
That being said, I'm biased. As you know, I do just hate Damien.
I know you hate Damien a lot. Like, you're not one of my only friends who hate Damien, to be honest. A lot of
It'll be
people
worse.
hate Damien.
You know how it only get worse though when it comes to Tim.
What?
I'm not gay, so. But when it comes, the only way it could be worse is if they named it. They called him Drake in the game.
Now, see, if that happens, I'll have to commit an act of violence against one.
You mean against Bendis?
Why would you
Well,
why would you name him Drake? Why would you?
that's literally his last name.
I know, but why would you?
Oh.
What?
I have 2 words to answer that question.
What?
Because Bendis.
Okay, but even then, he took the name from his evil counterpart.
No one talks.
Because Bendis.
Why can't he just be Red Robin? Like, Red Robin already was great.
Bendis.
Not even Red Robin, Redbird. You
I
could go-
mean, why
if
are you
didn't
not
want Red
listening to
Robin-
the answer? Because Bendis. Bendis is evil.
I'm just
Bendis
saying,
is
if you
the worst
didn't
thing
want
about
Red
comic
Robin,
books ever.
if you didn't want
For
Red
the
Robin,
record,
if you didn't want
I don't hate Bendis.
Ho,
I'm gonna say
I
ho.
I do.
If you try to
The only answer that'll work is because Bendis.
then
There's enough
Don't
stuff I read by
fight the
Bendis that I'm like,
stupid.
I can defend it.
Don't fight the stupid.
Bendis says a lot of bad stuff, but I maintain there's stuff
Recently.
that's worth defending.
One of the comments. Batman is totally dead, guys. Source, trust me, bro, he's dead.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
not going to be able to
that's,
buy him in 6 months.
So you're dead.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even when he comes out, I'm not going to want to play as him because, again, this is a Tim Drake simulator for me.
No, you got to give us. See, they got to tease us first. They got to give us like the Jean-Paul Lavallee Batman.
Oh, that's true. They probably would do that.
Well, I mean, for goodness sake, he's in
You know what?
Arkham City at Knights, so.
I wish
Dick
they would.
Grayson will probably get a Batman skin. Like, Dick Grayson can take the mantle if he wants.
Yep.
Or something.
Oh yes.
I wish they would give us. Look, I wish they would give us every Bat family character. Like, can I play as the French Batman?
Let me get Alfred.
Alan Surinar.
Alright, if you can play as Alfred, actually, like, I'll buy an extra copy of the game for that.
Batmite, and you click your fingers, you win instantly.
Yeah, I mean,
Alfred will have a silver serving tray, and he just, like, hobbles around super slow and just beats criminals over the head with it.
yeah, but it's like
And it
a
would be
one-hit
so
kill
amazing.
for every enemy, including bosses.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, like, for boss fights, he just makes a biting, sarcastic remark and immediately demolishes half of their HP. I would absolutely play an Alfred video game.
Some men just want to watch the world burn. Joker lookalike takes 10% damage.
Oh my god! I mean, at least we can look forward to the games that DC have. Is there any Marvel games coming out soon other than
Avengers?
Avengers and Spider-Man, yeah, but Avengers.
Those are the only two they're working on right now. At least they're public about. I'm sure they're working on others.
Fortnite, but
Come on.
I'm sure. No. They're gonna do mobile games. That's it. Honestly, that's my opinion. But
Look, apart
No,
from
the Spider-Man stuff's gonna keep going.
Spider-Man, yes. Everything else, no.
Spider-Man is good, but it's a continuation more than anything else. It's just like it's
Well, it's a
basically-
placeholder to get you a reason to buy the new system while they work on the sequel. They're working on the sequel already.
I need to play Ultimate Alliance 3. I really need to. It looks so much fun. You'll buy it finally.
To be honest, I have hope in them that they'll do more, but
Well,
I think
when
I believe we'll get a Daredevil game and we'll get a couple more games. I don't think this.
Why haven't we gotten a Daredevil
oh,
game yet? Really?
Hold up. Let me.
There
tell you
was
what's
going to be a
happen,
Daredevil
guys.
game.
Let me tell you what's going to happen.
What?
When Disney gets their hands on the X-Men, you're going to see a re-release on the Switch for all the classic SNES and NES games of those X-Men Spider-Man games.
You know what? That's fair.
Adamantium Rage.
I'm now
That's a very
excited.
fair point. That's
I
a very
didn't
fair
even think
point.
about that, and now I'm looking forward. Now I have something to look forward to.
Adamantium Rage.
I'll put my
Okay.
noose away. Not today, old friend.
Okay, so opinions on the new Batman.
The Pattinson one.
I'm interested.
Batman?
I'm interested to see what he does with it, but I'm not hopeful.
To be honest,
It looks like it'll be good, and it will also just be the same as basically every other Batman movie that we've got in the past 20 years or so.
I honestly think they should have made David Tennant the Joker if they were going to cast the Joker.
I am really Batmaned out.
Make it work.
Thing.
You know what? Someone told me they're like, oh, like if we get Robert Pattinson Batman, can we get Tom Holland Robin? I'm like, shut up.
Yeah, I mean, I just recently pulled the Batman books off of my comic shop pull list. I'm getting very tired of him, and so the new movie. It doesn't look like there's anything unique about it. It looks like it's going to be basically the same as what we usually get, which is he's wearing armor, he's really broody, he's really dark and depressing. It's the same Batman you always get every time.
Okay, but opinions on Pattinson versus Batfleck.
I think Pattinson will do better. I
think
no
Pattinson
contest.
will do better, yeah.
Yeah, no, thin, lankier Batman, tall Batman.
No, actually, I'm talking about Ben Affleck. Well,
no, weird, stocky Batman. I'm not a big fan of. Ben Affleck always looks like he's really short to me in the role, and I don't know why. I think it's because of his neck.
But here's the thing: you have that, and you're bringing back the greatest Batman from the '80s.
Michael Keaton is the best live-action Batman. That is correct.
He's back. He's back, though. They got him back.
Yeah, the best Batman movie is Batman Returns. That is my stance. Batman Returns.
Is it going to be Flashpoint Batman where he's Batman?
I prefer Batman Forever.
We're not sure yet.
Batman Returns is legit my all-time favorite Batman movie. It's in my top 5 superhero movies. It's in my top 10 movies. I love Batman Returns.
I feel like we're ignoring Batman Forever is one of the greatest pieces of Batman media out there.
Is this you being ironic?
Honest, it's a fun.
No, it's him trying to lose followers.
Okay, yeah. I am joking. To
be fair, it's a guilty pleasure.
It is as bad as people say.
Yes.
It's not like unwatchable, and there are good elements in it. And it's also either Batman and Robin or Batman Forever. Both of those are not Joel Schumacher's fault. If you look at the behind the scenes, I blame the studios for that. Joel Schumacher is a huge Batman fan, and if you listen to him in interviews, he really could have made something great. If you look at the deleted scenes, it was almost a lot better.
Yes,
guys.
Yes, forever.
Release the Schumacher cut.
You mentioned studios, and the interesting thing is, like, something I noticed about what James Gunn said. The studios are not going to be holding him back for Suicide Squad. They're letting him do whatever he wants.
That's a smart thing to do. I mean, the man has proven himself with 2 Guardians of the Galaxy movies that he can make an entertaining and fun superhero movie that can win people over to obscure
and bring in characters.
Yeah. He's a great guy to employ to get all these obscure characters in your movies so that people open up to the idea of obscure characters so that you don't have to worry about running out of characters when all your big name actors retire in 10 years.
Well, what I would say is I remember my friend always saying about in regards to that summer when both Man of Steel and Guardians of the Galaxy came out, he said, "A talking raccoon and tree got more butts and seats than the Man of Steel." I think
because James Gunn knows how to do that.
And the Polka Dot Man being a main player in this movie shows to me that he is basically doing what he's doing with Guardians, like with Howard the Duck, for example, and saying, "I'm going to take everything obscure that I love, and I'm going to run with it. I'm going to run home with it." My view, though, on Batman, because I didn't get a chance to mention, if I may.
Call him Batman.
Well, either way, I was excited because the Riddler, because I wanted to see an Arkham-style Riddler. The Zero Year is a great comic, I think, because of how they handled Riddler in that. And he looked. I could be wrong. That could be Hush they're showing off, but it looked to me like they're doing a Hush style version of Riddler, and I don't want that.
Well, they've already announced an animated Hush, but that's not what I wanted to jump on because I was looking over the Wikipedia before the show, and we touched briefly on this, but I feel like we're not addressing the elephant in the room, and I have to go in like 10, 15 minutes for my own show.
No problem.
But Black Adam, when Dwayne Johnson,
yes,
when he tried out for that role, he tried out for 2 roles. Does anybody know what the other role he tried out for was?
I do not.
Jon Stewart.
No.
Wasn't Jon Stewart? Okay.
Wonder Woman.
Lobo.
Oh.
So they're casting for a Lobo.
Oh. Pardon my language,
Yes.
but heck yeah.
There was a movie they were making. There was a script made back in the day. That was one of the many lost movies they never made.
You know what? If
we
we get another Superman movie, whether it's a sequel or they use Flashpoint as an opportunity to start over, I would love to see a Superman versus Lobo because Superman and Lobo interacting is always fantastic. Because
the animated series alone,
so irresponsible and so obnoxious. Superman,
the main man, baby.
Because Superman isn't just mad at Lobo. Superman is annoyed at Lobo, and Superman being annoyed at nonsense is great.
Well, there's an audio book that came out from Graphic Audio a while back, and I don't know if it has a comic book counterpart, but it's called The Super Sons or the Last Sons, and it's about Martian the Manhunter, Superman, and Lobo, respectively, all being collected by this intergalactic entity. And that's a movie that I'd love to see.
When are we getting a Martian Manhunter movie, guys? I need one.
Oh.
Also, when is he getting a full-time comic book series? He had that mini-series, which was pretty good, but we need more Martian Manhunter.
Him and Brightest Day was really good. Did you guys ever read his arc in that? That was great.
I didn't get to it.
Well, you could do like a Jamie Madrox style PI detectives comic with that noir style where he's John Jones, a private detective.
I feel like if Jack Black ever got in shape, I would not mind him as Lobo.
No, you know what? You're right.
I can see that work.
Be acceptable.
Brutal Legend already showed he can pull it off.
Yeah,
if he was in shape.
If he got in full on action hero, because
and he'd have to smoke 10,000 Marlboros a day. That's the other part.
But he could do it. He'd be like, "Oh, bro, imagine a Cable and Jack Black fights."
That would be fantastic.
Oh God.
Get Cable as a sort of classic style Superman because he looks just like him. He can do it. Get a jacked Black, if you will, to be Lobo, and we got something. It'd be great.
No, because I believe that after that movie, Cable and Jack Black would be the best friends ever.
Probably, yeah. Is it Cable or Cavill?
I don't even know.
It's Cavill.
It's Henry Cavill.
Cavill would be Cavill seems like a really nice guy in person. So
he really is.
Bro, that would.
He has big Christopher Reeve energy in real life, where he seems like he is Superman.
A gentle soul, yes.
Yes.
I've been watching him a lot in Witcher, and I'm like, this guy is clearly very nice, but he's trying to act mean, and I'm not buying it.
You ain't wrong there. That's actually that's a good assessment.
Oh my God. Anyway, so I think that is basically the only other thing that I was gonna do was show the Batman trailer or clips of it, especially with the Vengeance scene, or the Snyder cut. In fact, the reason I got Bizarre Comics here was just so I could hear him rant about how much he hates the Snyder cut. But you know what? We have been going on for a while. But so instead, I guess we're not gonna do that. I'm just gonna mention Reverse Flash isn't while he is gonna be in the new Flash movie, he's not the main villain.
It was me, Barry.
Oh, the Flash movie, by the way, is called Flashpoint.
How delightful.
Okay.
Oh, so it is Papa Batman that Michael Keaton's playing. Cool.
Yeah. And what's it called? He's not going to be the main villain. He might be an antagonist, but
he wasn't the main villain in Flashpoint. He helped Barry reset
exactly.
So because Barry created the multiverse, the multiverse is destroying itself. So he has to stop.
Yeah, that sounds all right.
All right. And by the way, if you just My opinion on the Snyder Cut is just if you watch a Sammy Classic Sonic fan video where he's like yelling "you frickin' fricks," just imagine that's me yelling at Zack Snyder. That's about accurate.
Look, all
That's
I
what it
want,
would have been.
I just want to see more Barry. I just want to see Flash's new costume and his new movie. I just want to see. I may not like their choice for Iris because why are you taking away my gingers? Okay, but
she's black in the show, but anyway.
you know what?
Keep going.
I also hate
I
show
just want to
Iris
see
anyway.
I just want to see Grant Gustin as the Flash in the movies instead of the TV
No,
show. Can
no,
we switch
no,
those guys?
no.
Yeah.
I would like to see
rather not.
Grant Gustin appear in Flashpoint. That would be neat.
Opinions on Wonder Woman
cool.
84. Opinions on Wonder Woman 84.
It's
I'm
the
excited
Superman
about
project I am most excited for. I'm thrilled about it.
Let me put it this way: I've looked at the leaks, and this pretty much confirms to me how much I'm really starting to hate and resent Jeff Johns. Have any of you guys read Free Jokers? I read it, and I'm like, this was not worth the 5 years of waiting. I basically called everything.
I bought the first issue of Three Jokers, and that was my test to see if I'm going to keep reading Batman stuff, and it failed.
I never planned. I never
you
planned.
agree.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
I plan on reading it and reviewing it on my channel, so thanks, guys.
Oh,
okay, guys, this section,
I hate it.
This last section was if like we were just winding down, and it's called CW. It's literally titled CW blah. So, what is your opinion on the new Superman and Lois show?
I'm actually excited for it. Tyler
H
something, whatever his name is.
Oakland, yeah. Look, Tyler Hoechlin, he's not my Superman. He does not.
I'm kind of excited for him. His costume is pretty bad, but he has the right face for it. He has the right voice.
No, he does. No,
but also he has the
this.
right attitude. That man is playing classic Superman. If we can get a somehow competent writer at the CW network, I think it can be good.
Oh my god. Competent
Thank you for
writer.
laughing for me, Poe.
You must be
Can
joking.
you laugh again, Poe?
No. Also, look, there's so much. There's so much about
Supergirl's world.
They're all in the same world now. By the way.
Okay, so it's Superman from CW.
Yeah,
okay.
Crisis on Infinite Earth happened.
Yeah. Also,
I know. I avoided it.
Lex Luthor is black in this. What's it called?
I want to scream now, but
I'm out of. It's the CW. What did you expect?
Yeah, I stopped watching after
I think Stargirl is the only good one they have. I think
I'm gonna watch it.
Good,
that's part of why I'm watching it. I'm hoping it does lean more towards the Stargirl style, and I'm also desperate for classic Superman. So honestly, I will continue to find something.
Honestly, the two best costumes. The reason why I'm planning on watching it is just because I looked at Our Man and Stargirl's costume. I was like, wow,
they're spot on.
This
Yeah,
is amazing.
I mean, did you see the Green Arrow costume they had? Beautiful. They had the seven. Was it the seven warriors or something? What was the
7 soldiers?
7 soldiers of victory. There we go.
Our Man is just so freaking. He looks like. That's some good stuff.
Yeah, I will agree on that. But I will say this: we're talking about CW. We're ignoring the other elephant in the room. Then, Giant-Eyed Girls, the show with angst.
What
show is that?
Oh, you're talking about the Powerpuff Girls sequel, where it's gonna be about growing up.
I don't want to talk about that. I really would rather not.
How are they gonna do? Question I do have though for people, since we're speaking of CW though, which do you think is more likely? Are they gonna go Grodd, or are they gonna have a guy in a monkey suit, or are they gonna have a guy have him be a human as Mojo Jojo? Which do you think is gonna be the most likely case?
I think they're
guys. Ignoring all that, the most likely case is that Blossom is gonna be black.
No, they're gonna cast Vincent D'Onofrio as Mojo Jojo.
They like to get rid of gingers. Yeah, it is gonna be Blossom.
Also, quick question.
Yeah.
Like looking at Superman and Lois, looking at the pictures of Superman and Lois, why does Lois look like a 40-year-old professor and Superman look like her pool boy or student who?
Sorry, did you say Superman?
Fine. Superman looks fine. He has a bad costume.
No, I'm saying he looks fine, but I'm saying together they look like a college student and her.
I mean, Lois is a bit older in this version. She has 2 kids.
I can say is
one of them's a teenager, isn't he? That's fine.
I'm just saying I want my Tom Welling. Okay, Tom Welling is.
I'm just saying I want me a piece of that Batwoman because she looks amazing.
Look, I was hoping for a Brandon
actress.
Routh. I was hoping for a Brandon Routh Superman show. So I'm disappointed too. But at least I might get a couple of classic Superman moments.
We're getting a
so
Superman show. We're not getting a
I
Supergirl
want my
show.
Tom Welling, to be honest. If Tom Welling was Superman in Supergirl, I would have watched Supergirl no matter how bad it was.
But that would have created some really rough continuity issues.
I hate to say this, but the Superman and Lois, they look like they're from a porn parody. I'm just gonna say it.
They do. They do.
I don't think it looks that bad. The Superman suit is bad, but I don't.
I'm not saying it's an Axel Braun parody because that's a compliment. I'm saying more of a other one.
What is your opinion? Take. What is your opinion on Iris from The Flash?
Who, me?
Anyone?
Fine. I mean,
from the show, I like. She's hot.
Same as everything else on The Flash. It was good for like the first season and a half, and then everything fell off.
She wasn't even good in the first season. She wasn't even good.
She was fine. She was a fine. She was a fine love interest. When they tried to overemphasize her character, I had a problem. But she was fine.
There you go.
To close out on the theme of the actual show, though, going back to continuity that was mentioned, I actually have a hot take. Because if you look at all these properties that are being put out, like you look at Stargirl and the supporting characters, you've got like Our Man and the original Sandman with the gun and stuff like that. You look at the idea of the Justice Society entering the extended universe. I think we're going to get a Kingdom Come, boys.
Well, I mean, that we almost got that in Smallville.
We almost got. I mean, we got Kingdom Come Superman in Crisis. So yeah,
right.
Probably.
So I think we're going to get a Kingdom Come finally.
Or Thy Kingdom Come. Awesome. It's based off. If it's based off of Jeff Johns' work, it'll be Thy Kingdom Come, and they'll bring the other guy back as Kingdom Come Superman for that.
I think Mark Waid is someone who likes to do things that I can't say on the stream, but Kingdom Come was still one of the best stories that was ever written for DC Comics.
Mark Waid's a good comic book writer. He has a lot of great comics to his name.
He's incompetent, is what he is. But
he wrote an excellent Flash run. His Flash run is great.
I will say my view is simply this about I'm betting more it's going to be a Jeff Johns' Thy Kingdom Come storyline from Society than Kingdom Come itself. That's where my money's on. Because they could easily say, yeah, the multiverse is gone, but hypertime still exists. That's my view. That's my take. It's not going to be. It's going to be. There's going to be a giant god called Gog coming in and influencing the society, and he got that same Superman coming back from hypertime and saying, "This is what happened on my Earth. It is set up and designed perfectly for a show like this."
Yeah,
that's nice. That's. At least I feel like this was a good episode. We really covered everything that we came here to cover. Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
It's nice
being here. Yeah.
Glad to be here. Glad to be able to jump on. I was really excited.
Nice.
You're welcome. You're welcome for my presence.
I'm glad for it. Thank you, Lam, for being a great stream host. We want to thank our sponsors, Artesian Builds. Check the description below for opportunity to either support us or get a new PC at a discount. Once again, thank you for the awesome show. This has been episode 19 of Digital Blackface. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad you were here.
Thank you. Good night.